Mr. Willowby's Christmas tree. Wow. Ooh, look at that. He's just like the lumberjack in our other story, chopping down a tree. Ooh, it says it is a special delivery. Mr. Willowby's Christmas tree came by special delivery. Full and fresh and glistening green, the biggest tree he had ever seen. It is bigger than that truck. Oh, who do you think that is?
Mr. Willowby.
Mr. Willowby. Oh, he is so excited. He dashed downstairs to open the door. This was the moment he'd waited for. A magnificent tree. Splendid, he cried. Please, sir, won't you carry it right inside? I think it might look best this year, right in the parlor corner here. But once the tree stood in its place, Mr. Willowby made a terrible face. Do you see a problem?
There's no ornament on it.
My tree touched the ceiling, then bent like a bow. Oh, good heavens, he gasped. Something must go. Look at that. How would he get a star on that? It's stuck to the ceiling. Let's see. Baxter the butler was called on in haste to chop off the tree, though it seemed quite a waste. That's great, Mr. Willowby cried with glee. Now we can start to trim my tree. When the trimming was well underway, the top was placed on a silver tray. Baxter said, I know who'd be delighted with this Christmas tree. So it was presented to Miss Adelaide, Mr. Willowby's upstairs maid. Oh, look at her face. Is she delighted? Is she delighted? Oh, wow. Won't this tree be a pretty sight when I have it trimmed later tonight? But the top, oh dear, I'm so afraid, will have to be cut, sighed Miss Adelaide. And so with scissors sharp and long, she snipped off the top while she hummed a song. The top was set out the very next day in the back of the house to be thrown away. It is a waste. Look at it in that garbage can. I wonder what will happen. That little treetop caught the eye of Tim the gardener passing by. He certainly was not about to see that little tree thrown out. He hurried home straight away to see what Mrs. Tim would say. Fa-la-la, surprise, surprise! His wife could not believe her eyes. But our house, she said, is so snug and small, I don't believe we need it all. And before Tim had a chance to shout, she cut off the top and threw it out. Barnaby Bear was padding by. It almost hit him in the eye. Now, who would throw a tree away so very close to Christmas Day? I'll take it home. That's what I'll do. Look, Mama Bear, I've a present for you. How many people have had part of Mr. Willowby's tree? Isn't it a pretty tree? yawned Barnaby. Oh, quite drowsily. But Little Bear, standing off far, cried out, "That tree won't hold a star." Barnaby said, "Let's cut a hunk off the bottom here at the trunk." But Mama Bear just shook her head and sliced the top off instead. "Jolly by golly," Barnaby said with a kick. "Mama, that surely is just the right trick. Let's trim it with bells and honey rings, some berries and tinsels, and popcorn on strings." Mama said, "Trim it just as you like. I've got to tidy up for the night. This top we won't need any more. I'll put it just outside the door." What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? Later on that frosty night, Frisky Fox came into sight. He spied the treetop, rubbed his chin, opened his sack, and stuffed the top in. I've not seen any part of the tree be wasted yet. Someone is always finding it. He scampered home and jumped his gate. This Christmas present could not wait. "It's even better than mincemeat pie," said Mrs. Fox with a happy sigh. Then the foxes saw that their Christmas prize was just a wee bit oversized. "There, my dears, don't you worry. I'll fix this top now in a hurry." Benjamin Rabbit found it then, just outside the fox's den. It seemed as though, most certainly, Santa left that for my family. "Look!" he cried. "See the tree I found?" With that, he called his family round. Then there was a merrymaking, rollicking, frolicking, carrot-shaking celebration around the tree. All were as happy as rabbits could be. Benjamin Rabbit, with his own hand, sliced a carrot and made a stand. "Now let's see how this will look in our little chimney nook." But right away the children cried, "Look, it's leaning off to one side." "It's too tall, that's all," said Mrs. Rabbit. And as though it were a summer carrot, she gave it a chop and threw away the top. Oh my goodness. Then Mistletoe Mouse just happened to see that tiny tip of a Christmas tree. He pulled it through the snow and ice, up some stairs. He fell down twice. At last he reached his cozy house. "It's just the right size," said Mrs. Mouse. Then at the top, if you please, they put a star made out of cheese.
Gee, that's so silly.
I know. Oh, wasn't it grand to have a tree exactly like Mr. Willowby? Oh, where did the very tip top of that tree end up? Whose house is it? Willowby's. Okay, ready? Let's take a look. So how many people got to use that one spectacular tree? Mr. Willowby, 1. The upstairs maid, Miss Adelaide, 2. Right. Mr. Tim, what comes after 2? 3. Barnaby Bear, 4. But it was still too big. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, look, there it goes. Out the tree. How many have used it so far? 4. Frisky Fox. 5. But they're not done yet. They're not done yet. Benjamin Rabbit. 6. Throw it out. Mistletoe Mouse. 7. And where did it end up? At Mr. Willoughby's, right? So Mr. Willoughby's one great big tree went to 7 houses. Oh, you were so worried it was going to be a waste, right?
Yep.
But did any of it get wasted? No. They all used little pieces and 7 families got to enjoy Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree.
The end. The end.
The end.